Hello class, I trust everybody had a great weekend. Today we are going to learn about how to divide decimals. We've been multiplying decimals, but we're going to move on to dividing. So if you haven't done so already, take out your notes notebook. In the very next section, so draw a squiggly if you have to, or even go to the next page. Oops. Right there? Okay. Dividing decimals. Okay. When we divide decimals, we have to make sure that our divisor is a whole number. Okay? So we must have a whole number as a divisor. That's an S. Okay? So what this means is we might have to multiply by powers of 10. For example, if we have 4.6 divided by 0.2, okay, well first let's set it up. Inside, the dividend is the first number, so 4.6. Outside is our divisor, that's 0.2, or 0 and 2/10, or just 2/10. Okay, so this is the divisor. This is the dividend. Our divisor, right here, needs to be a whole number, which means the decimal needs to be at the very end, or to the utmost right. Is it there? No, it's not. We need to move this decimal over to the very right of that number. In order to do that, we have to multiply it by a power of 10. We end up multiplying it by, does anybody know? Just 1/10. So if we multiply this number by 10, the 0 falls down. 1 times 2, 1 times 0. There is one decimal. Boom. Okay? So it ends up moving to the end of the 2. So that's what essentially we are doing. We are timesing by 10 so that we have a whole number in the divisor. The trick here is what we do to the divisor, we must also do to the dividend. So we multiplied the divisor by 10, we must multiply the dividend by 10, or move it over 1 as well, to the right-hand side. Okay. Now that we've done that, we have new numbers.
Jackson Brady to the main office, please.
Our new numbers, so I'm just going to rewrite this problem now. Our new revised math problem here is 46 divided by just 2. Okay. Now we just have a normal division problem. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat, if needed, right? So 4 divided by 2 is 2. Multiply, we get 4. Subtract, we get 0, and then we bring down the 6. And then we start over. We brought down, so we must repeat. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. We subtract, we get 0. We have no remainder. Therefore, our final answer, our quotient, is 23 here. Okay? So 4.6 divided by 2/10 is just 23. Okay? So really, the only thing that changes is that we have to have a whole number as the divisor. Okay? In order to do that, we multiply by a power of 10. After we do that, it's just division like normal. Let's do another one. What if we have, let's do 64 divided by 0.24. Think that one. Hold on. Let's do 32 hundredths instead. Okay? Let's do 32 hundredths instead. Remember, our first number is the dividend, so that needs to go inside. The second number is our divisor. Our divisor needs to be a whole number, which it is not. Because it is not a whole number, we multiply by a power of 10, or short term or shortcut, we just move the decimal over enough spots all the way to the right. So how many places do we need to move the decimal? 1, 2. We need to move the decimal 2 places to the right. What we do to the divisor, we must also do to the dividend. Where's the decimal here, though? I hope everybody realizes that the decimal is at the end, the very right of 64. Okay? Because 4 is our ones place value, and the decimal is always to the right of the ones digit. Now, we need to move this decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2. But wait a minute, there's nothing there. What can we always add? We can always add a 0. In this case, okay? At the end or the beginning. Please never add zeros in between numbers that are already there. You're going to change the number. If you do that, you'll change the number. Okay? So now we moved our decimals, which means our old decimals are no longer valid. We do not need them. Okay? So now we have a new math problem. 6,400 divided by 32. After we move the decimals, in order to make the divisor a whole number, now we just divide like normal. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat if necessary. Okay? Where is our focus? Who remembers what the focus is? What is it? 64 is correct. Now that we have a focus, we know 32 goes into 64. How many times does it go into 64? It goes in there twice. So we just divided. We came up with a 2. Now we're going to multiply 32 times 2. And turns out it goes into it very evenly. So 64 goes down here, and now we're ready to subtract. 64 minus 64 is 0. Bring down the 0. If we bring down, we must repeat, which means there better be a number above the 0 we just brought down. So we just brought this 0 down. We need to put a number up here. So how many times does 32 go into 0? 0 times. We have to put a number up there in order to fill it in because we brought down that 0. Okay? To hold its place value, we have to fill in that 0. Just like we do when we multiply, we have to add zeros to hold the place value. Here, we add zeros to hold the place value in this case. Okay? We get 0 when we multiply 0 times 32, and we subtract and we get 0. We have one more 0 we have to bring down. Well, if we bring down, we have to put a number up here. So that's going to be 0. Okay. 0 times 32 is 0. We subtract, we get 0 again. Now we do not have any numbers that we have to bring down anymore. The decimal goes straight up. And our answer ends up being simple 200. Get it? Good. Let's try a harder one. What if we have 16.7 divided by 5/10? Let's set it up first. 16 7/10 goes inside because it's the dividend, and then 5/10 goes outside because it's the divisor. Is our divisor a whole number? No, we have to change it. How many places are we going to move the decimal? We are going to move it one place. Well, what we do to the divisor, we must also do to the dividend. So we move that one place value. We ignore our old decimals. We want our new one. So if we didn't want to forget, we could just put the decimal straight up. Now we need to divide like normal. 0.5 is really just 5. When we focus, we get 16. How many times does 5 go into 16? So here we're dividing, multiplying, subtracting, bringing down, and repeating. 5 goes into 16 3 times. We just divided, we multiply, and we get 15. Then we subtract, we get 1. Next we have to bring down this 7. How many times does, if we bring down, we must repeat, so let's divide. 17 divided by 5. How many times? Well, 5 fits in there 3 times again. We divide it, we multiply, and subtract. We don't have anything left to bring down. What can we always add? We can always add that 0, remember. If we have a remainder, we want to put this in decimal form. But if we have a remainder, we need to keep going until there is no more remainder. In order to do that, we just add zeros. So we bring the 0 down, we end up with 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4, because 4 times 5 is 20, so on and so forth, and we do not have a remainder anymore. So our answer to 16 7/10 divided by 5/10 is 33 4/10. That is our answer. So we're going to write it and box it in. Are there any questions? We're going to do some more practice with these, so sit tight and good luck.